Hello and welcome to that CMS Guy. Today I've had a very interesting day supporting a Great to meet Noel Willcox, who's obviously an individual who's working with reform, and that's what this is all about. But also I wanted to say what a wonderful thing it has been to meet the men's rights bunny for the first time as well. Meeting her in court was absolutely wonderful. What a shock and a surprise. I wasn't even aware that she was going to be there as well. So she's going to be presenting this information as well from Noel Willcox on her channel. I've had the opportunity to have a precursory interview with him and his views about the CMS, what they're doing, and standing outside the Magistrates court. A lady who's got a very curious case. The CMS have been trying to extract a great deal of money from her falsely, and also seeking to place her in prison. While Noel Willcox and also Ian Briggs and another individual, Craig, has been supporting them. But I'm going to show you a precursory interview with Noel Willcox and his views about the CMS, which will be very interesting. Hope you enjoy.
How are you?
Lovely to meet you, mate.
And you?
So we're here today at the Magistrates court. So why are you here today?
Right, so basically I'm here today because I was at a hearing with a female who has been given £50,000 of fictitious arrears.
Wow.
Yes, okay. So I've taken a keen interest in this case.
Yeah.
Because obviously from what I can see from this case, that the female, she has all the evidence to say that she doesn't owe this money.
Right.
Child Maintenance Service have no evidence to say that they do owe this money.
Right.
So that is of great concern to me, because obviously that's a breach of natural justice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you meet her?
So she reached out to me because obviously I've been very vocal at exposing what is actually going on with the Child Maintenance Service, you know, through various podcasts and through the press.
Yeah.
And she reached out to me, and where I can, you know, I'm more than happy. Obviously I can't give any legal advice. I can't get involved in individual cases or anything like that, but I can certainly monitor what's going on.
She's over the road, but do you think she would be interested in talking on this?
She possibly might, but I would say because it's an ongoing legal, because there's an ongoing...
Keep her out of that.
Yeah, we'll keep her out of it for the time being, because there's obviously still legal proceedings that are going on, so we have to respect the fact that we can't prejudice her case.
So what are you hoping to get out of this?
Well, really, I think that the public, it's all about the public, and the public needs to know exactly what's going on, And I don't think that the public would accept, in a democratic society... I do not believe that the public would accept what is going on in these courtrooms.
What is going on?
Well, you know, I mean, the fact that Section 33, subsection 4 of the Child Support Act precludes the magistrates from checking the calculations of the Child Maintenance Service is very alarming.
Yeah.
Because how can you get justice?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all thought that a courtroom was where evidence was looked at, and a judge would make a decision based on the evidence that's put before them.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But that isn't happening.
Why is that not happening?
Because of Section 33, subsection 4.
And what does that mean for the general public? What does that mean for them?
It's an act of law, that has been devised, and it precludes the magistrates from checking the calculations of the CMS. Now, what is very, very troubling is that if we refer to the National Audit Office reports, all of the National Audit Office reports are all stating that the Child Maintenance Service basically cannot add up, that their calculations are misstated. There's the term of fictitious arrears. You know, a lot of very alarming stuff is contained in these reports.
So what you're saying is that the CMS are miscalculating these arrears, these fictitious arrears, and in court, the magistrates are precluded from having a look at that evidence to see whether or not that's true.
Absolutely. No, not to see if it's true or not. So the magistrates cannot look at the paying parents' evidence to say that they do not owe the money that the Child Maintenance Service is stating that paying parent owes.
And that's surely against a human right.
Absolutely. That, in my opinion, that is a violation of Article 6 of the Human Rights Act.
So what about the Magna Carta? Is that still in play?
The Magna Carta is a live instrument. We know that the Magna Carta is a live instrument, and that is the fundamentals of what our justice system was built on.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you go to court and you can't defend yourself, that's against your human rights, that's against the European
right to a fair trial.
Right to a fair trial.
Right to a fair trial.
And so what we want, or what you're saying that you want that to be deconstructed. You want that to be so that anybody can go to court and defend themselves, especially the CMS.
Absolutely. I mean, in this case, you're innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the CMS's view, you're guilty.
Which would you say that's corruption? How would you describe it?
How would I describe it?
It's something that's in law.
Yeah.
So how would you describe?
But it's got to be challenged.
Yeah.
I mean, it just has to be challenged through the due process. I cannot see how Article 6 of the how Section 33, subsection 4 is compatible with human rights. Never mind natural justice. You cannot defend yourself. You have no right to defend yourself in the courts.
How do you challenge this so that it's no longer in place? How do we get to a place where we are challenging the CMS and eroding that law? Eroding that.
But that's why people need to vote for reform, because everything needs reforming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is what it says on the biscuit tin. Yeah. And these are just another avenue of what Reform UK is actually looking at. Yeah. Is reforming the criminal justice system, and how it operates.
And the CMS.
Because in this case now, in this particular case today,
yes,
I mean, I believe that this is the 5th or 6th time that this has been adjourned. I mean, at the cost of the taxpayer. For a debt. I mean, I have seen it. I have seen that this woman does not owe this money.
Yeah.
Her income has been inflated.
£50,000.
Yeah, £50,000.
Where have they got it from?
Exactly, where have they got it from?
Why they say to? I mean, because this is quite a unique case as well, isn't it? Because she's a woman.
Exactly, she is a woman. So this is not about gender, because this can happen to anybody at any time. Whether you're male, whether you're female, this can happen at any time. And I think the public really needs to be aware of what's going on, because mothers have sons, and mothers have daughters, and everybody actually needs to know that if these people get involved in your life, it can take a very, very, very vicious turn of events.
So what you seem to be suggesting is that they're looking at not the gender, but whether you're male or female, but how much money you're on the bank.
Well, how much money, it appears to me, how much money the DWP can make. Because if that's fictitious, that parent is not expecting that money, who is the parent who is wanting money for whatever reason, yeah? But what you've got to remember as well, this is not deadbeat dads, this is not deadbeat mothers or whatever it might be, yeah? This is simply about the fact of state interference, yeah, into the family unit. There's no support mechanism there, and from what I can see from the evidence of what I've looked at and the stories of what people have said to me, there is just a trail of destruction that is left behind the Child Maintenance Service. This has gone on for 30 years, and it's never worked. And it's hundreds of millions of pounds of taxpayers' money that's been poured into this government body, and it does not work. They can't add up. It's simple. It's such a simple mechanism, but it's so overcomplicated with the law with the child maintenance.
No, surely they must know that it's causing this amount of carnage. They should know. Surely they must know that it's affecting society in this way.
Well, I've seen a lot of evidence that ministers, have been inundated with complaints regarding the Child Maintenance Service. The National Audit Office have been inundated with complaints about the Child Maintenance Service, and it's just been allowed to carry on.